So then we go back to the pectoralis. So here we would have a overlapping of, which is tricky to do because I eliminated the sheath, but we're gonna have the overlapping here of the muscle, the pectoralis with the external oblique, so with the rectus abdominis, right? And so I'm gonna create a little bit of a webbing like this, right? But it's not gonna be super accurate, but that's fine, right? Now here we have the linea alba. The linea alba comes down like this, right? And this is the navel, and this is the lower part of the linea alba. And now we can work on this part here, right? So going back with the light red, and I want to now make these a little bit more round, because now as is they are a little bit flat, right? A little bit like patches, right? So I am adding here. So the line that I do now are about rendering the volume, right? So here, so I like to go across the form like this because, I mean, I could do it like this, but this marking here permits me to create a more modular mark, modulated mark, where I start with a very thin line and it gets thicker, thick, so that if you feel, it's basically creates a tonal variation. See that? You have a value here, another value here, by simply putting more or less pressure on the pencil, right? And you push, when you get down, see that? You push a little bit more, and you keep this line parallel like that, right? You create a sense of light here, see that? And slightly darker as you go down like that. This now, once I establish this, I can linger a little bit more on this part here, creating a little bit more visible margin. Also because in a torsion like that, right, there is going to be some bumping up of muscle, you know. The poor guy is struggling to save his life and the life of his kids, right? Fighting with 2 pythons sent by Zeus, nonetheless. So when Zeus sends 2 pythons to kill you, you gotta wonder, whoops, what did I do? And I wonder if they were, you know, Zeus pets, right? I named them, right? The 2 pythons had a name or something, right? Squeezy and stretchy, something like that, right? Go squeezy, go stretchy, psychum, something like that. But so there must be some contraction here, right? In this struggling for life, right? To stay alive, and so here we're gonna now block in between these two. We're gonna block in the tendinous connection between the segments here and here, right here. And here too. I really like these like pilot LEDs. They're red and blue, and they permit me to do very, very thin line. When I do a demo, with a small demo, they're very useful. And also, I have one that is in red, so the red is not as dark, but because it's so thin, I can go back in here with the red and maybe sharpen up a few of these pencil lines, because pencil liners, if you keep them sharp, the pencil liner are sharp, but these are constantly sharp, so you never lose the edge. Now, I usually don't use them to color because I want to have a softer feel, right? But you could use them to color too. All right, so now we do the same thing here, and then we can get now the red, the dark red, and add maybe a few little lines that show, because these segments are the direction of the fiber of the segment arc is like this, right? They go in the direction of the pull, of course, right? So basically this muscle here brings together rib cage and pelvis, right? So then, see how this could be darker and darker. This we can get it darker and darker, but I think you have you know, an idea. So